Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the most explosive and exclusive daytime drama updates. Today is a spectacular day to unpack the latest scandals, betrayals, and heartbreaks brewing in Los Angeles. Grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let us jump right into the chaos that is about to change everything. The collision is inevitable. Two powerful families, bound by blood, cutthroat business empires, and decades of unforgivable betrayal, are hurtling toward a catastrophic point of no return. What happens when a single night of reckless, alcohol-fueled passion detonates the last remaining bridge between the Spencers and the Forresters? The fallout is not just a broken heart. It is a declaration of war. The morning sun streaming into the beach house illuminates a scene of absolute, undeniable devastation. While Spencer slowly regains consciousness, his head pounding with the visceral weight of a massive hangover and the immediate, crushing realization of what he has done. The tangled sheets offer no comfort, only the physical evidence of his catastrophic mistake. He turns his head, the fog of the previous night's desperation slowly lifting, only to be met with a sight that will haunt him for the rest of his life. Melissa Dillon is lying next to him. She is not asleep. She is awake, and she is grinning. It is a smile of absolute victory. Dillon is oh so cheerful, her voice light and musical as she greets the morning, radiating the satisfaction of a woman who has finally secured the ultimate prize. She is no longer the homeless girl sleeping in her car, relying on the charity of the Spencer heir. She is the woman who has conquered him, the woman who stepped into the massive void left by Elektra Forrester and claimed Will for herself. Her cheerful demeanor is a stark, horrifying contrast to the absolute dread pooling in Will's stomach. Will does not smile back. He does not offer a sweet morning greeting. He simply groans. It is a guttural sound of pure regret, a physical manifestation of his sudden, terrifying epiphany. In his drunken despair over losing Elektra, he sought comfort in the one person who was always there, the one person who never judged him. But in doing so, he has crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. He has handed the Forrester family the ultimate ammunition to destroy his reputation. And worse, he has handed Elektra the final, unforgivable reason to hate him forever. The immediate aftermath of this disastrous morning sends Will spiraling into a state of paralyzed panic. He is a man who has lost everything: his job at Forrester Creations, his standing with Eric Forrester, and now, the only woman he truly loves. He believes there is no going back. He believes the damage is permanent, terminal, and entirely his own fault. Enter Wyatt Spencer. Wyatt does not mince words, and he certainly does not coddle his younger brother. Recognizing the dangerous downward spiral Will is trapped in, Wyatt stages a brutal, no-holds-barred intervention. Wyatt questions Will's relationship status with the kind of sharp, piercing interrogation that only a Spencer can deliver. He demands to know what Will is doing, why he is wallowing in self-pity, and why he is allowing the Forrester family to dictate the terms of his happiness. Will, defeated and broken, insists that there is no hope. He confesses the magnitude of his mistake, the night with Dillon, the absolute certainty that Elektra will never look at him again. He is ready to surrender, ready to accept his fate as the outcast, the violent Spencer who ruined his own life. But Wyatt refuses to let him quit. Wyatt reminds Will of who he is. He reminds him of the Spencer legacy, the relentless drive that defines their father, Bill Spencer, and the refusal to ever accept defeat. Wyatt's words are a sharp, necessary slap to the face. He strips away Will's excuses, forcing him to confront the reality that if he loves Elektra, he cannot simply walk away because he made a colossal mistake. He has to own it. He has to fight for it. The conversation triggers a massive, sudden shift in Will's psychology. The despair morphs into a frantic, desperate determination. Later in the week, the switch flips. Will suddenly decides to fight for Elektra. He refuses to let R.J. Forrester swoop in and claim the woman who belongs to him. He refuses to let a single night of drunken weakness dictate the rest of his life. He is going to march back into the line of fire, face the Forrester firing squad, and demand a second chance. However, Will's newfound determination is about to crash headfirst into a brick wall of absolute horror. Over at the sleek, high-stakes offices of Forrester Creations, the air is thick with tension. Elektra Forrester is attempting to focus on her jewelry line, attempting to push the memory of Will Spencer out of her mind, attempting to lean into the safe, uncomplicated comfort that R.J. Forrester is offering. But the walls of Forrester Creations have ears, and secrets in Los Angeles never stay buried for long. The whispers begin. The rumors circulate. The undeniable truth of what transpired at the beach house slowly snakes its way through the building until it lands directly at Elektra's feet. She eventually finds out. She discovers that while she was agonizing over their breakup, while she was mourning the loss of their future, her best friend, Melissa Dillon, was sleeping with Will. The confrontation that follows is destined to be one for the soap opera history books. Elektra corners Dillon in the design office, the doors shut, the tension so thick it is suffocating. Elektra is horrified. Her voice trembles with a mixture of rage, betrayal, and desperate denial. She looks at Dillon, the woman she trusted, the woman she confided in, the woman who promised to support her, and demands the truth. Elektra demands that Dillon tell her it is not true. She begs for a denial. She needs Dillon to look her in the eye and swear that the rumors are a malicious lie orchestrated by someone trying to tear them apart. She gives Dillon the perfect opportunity to lie, to save their friendship, to preserve the fragile peace. Dillon does not deny it. Dillon does not apologize. Dillon does not break down in tears of guilt. Instead, Dillon gives a little smile. It is a micro-expression, a fleeting, devastating curve of the lips that tells Elektra everything she needs to know. It is a smile of triumph. It is the smile of a woman who has stepped out of the shadows and claimed the spotlight. In that single, silent moment, Dillon completely shatters the girl code. She obliterates their friendship, confirming every paranoid fear Elektra ever had. The betrayal is absolute. Elektra has survived the psychotic manipulations of Luna Nozowa and the dangerous underground dealings of Remy Price. But this betrayal cuts deeper because it comes from the person standing right next to her. Dillon knew how much Elektra loved Will. Dillon knew the pain Elektra was in, and Dillon used that exact moment of vulnerability to slide into Will's bed. The immediate professional fallout of this personal explosion is going to tear Forrester Creations apart. Elektra is no longer just a heartbroken ex-girlfriend. She is a Forrester, and she holds supervisory power over Dillon. The lines between personal vengeance and professional authority are about to be completely erased. Moving into the next 2 weeks, the spoilers reveal a catastrophic workplace war. Elektra is out for blood. She cannot, and will not, work in the same building as the woman who slept with her ex-boyfriend. Elektra demands that Dillon be fired immediately. She leverages her family name, her position, and her status as the victim of this betrayal to force management's hand. This places the ultimate burden of leadership squarely on the shoulders of Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Ridge Forrester, the patriarch who traditionally handles these disputes, absolutely hates any kind of conflict that forces him to choose sides among the younger generation. Ridge will likely avoid the situation entirely, burying himself in couture designs and leaving Steffi to clean up the mess. Steffi is faced with a brutally tough choice. On one hand, she adores Dillon. She respects Dillon's work ethic, her resilience, and the fresh perspective she brings to the company. Steffi knows that Dillon is a valuable asset to Forrester Creations. On the other hand, Elektra is family. Blood is thicker than water, especially in the Forrester Empire. If Steffi protects Dillon, she alienates her own cousin and risks a massive internal family revolt led by RJ and Ridge. If she fires Dillon, she loses a great employee over a personal dispute that technically has nothing to do with company business. The tension in the executive office will be palpable as Steffi weighs the cost of loyalty versus business logic. But Steffi is already fighting a massive corporate war on another front, and her patience is wearing dangerously thin. Across town, the rivalry between Forrester Creations and Logan Designs is reaching a boiling point. Steffi marches into the sleek, modern offices of Logan Designs, ready to lay down the law and confront the woman who has become her ultimate corporate rival. Steffi confronts Hope Logan Spencer. The air crackles with years of built-up resentment, jealousy, and fierce competition. Steffi expects Hope to cower, to apologize for her sudden departure from Forrester, to show some remorse for pulling the Grenade pin and starting this fashion war. But Steffi is not able to rain on Hope's parade. Hope does not flinch. She stands tall, radiating a newfound confidence and ruthless empowerment that Steffi has never seen before. Hope looks Steffi dead in the eye and admits the absolute truth. She loves being at Logan. For the first time in her career, Hope feels truly valued. She is no longer fighting for scraps of attention at Forrester Creations. She is no longer begging for a production day for her line, while Steffi prioritizes couture. At Logan Designs, Hope is the star. She is the center of the universe, backed by the infinite resources of Bill Spencer and the unwavering support of Katie Logan. Hope's defiance is a massive blow to Steffi's ego. Steffi realizes that she cannot control Hope anymore. The Forrester name no longer holds any power over the Logan women. The corporate war is fully engaged, and Hope is ready to fight dirty. However, Steffi's fierce, unyielding exterior in the boardroom is masking a terrifying, crumbling reality at home. Steffi returns to the Cliff House, desperately seeking a safe haven from the chaos of the fashion world. She seeks reassurance from her husband, John Finn Finnegan. She needs Finn to be her rock, her anchor, the one person in Los Angeles who is entirely, unquestionably devoted to her. Finn provides the reassurance Steffi is begging for. He looks into her eyes and promises that his loyalty lies with her. He vows that he will protect their family, that he will stand by her side, and that she has nothing to worry about. But the words ring hollow. The vow is unconvincing, heavily weighed down by the immense, crushing psychological pressure Finn is under. He is a man being torn apart from the inside out, caught between the fierce, protective love for his wife and the undeniable, biological pull of the woman who gave birth to him. Steffi wants to believe him. She needs to believe him. But the cracks in Finn's armor are becoming too large to ignore. And someone else has already noticed. Taylor Hayes, armed with decades of psychiatric expertise and a mother's fierce protective instinct, is watching Finn closely. Taylor observes the subtle shifts in his body language, the hesitation in his voice, the haunted look in his eyes when the topic of his mother is broached. Taylor notices that Finn's loyalty is cracking. She realizes, with a cold sense of dread, that Finn's stance on Sheila is visibly softening. Taylor knows that this is a ticking time bomb. If Finn breaks, if he gives in to the emotional manipulation and opens the door to Sheila, it will destroy Steffi's marriage and put their entire family in lethal danger. Taylor is on high alert, preparing to intervene before the situation turns deadly. Because the more pressure Sheila applies, the messier this will get. Sheila is not a woman who handles rejection well. She is currently trapped in a cycle of manic desperation, pacing her apartment, agonizing over the singular, burning question. Why won't Steffi open her heart and let her in? Sheila believes she has changed. She believes she has earned a place in Finn and Hayes' lives. And the constant, unwavering rejection from Steffi is driving her to the brink of absolute madness. The spoilers for the next 2 weeks reveal a terrifying trajectory for the reformed villain. Sheila could spiral completely out of control if she does not get what she wants. She is currently venting her intense frustrations to Dr. Lee Finnegan, creating a highly volatile dynamic between the two mothers. Lee is clinical, guarded, and holding powerful intel, listening as Sheila unravels. But Sheila's desperation is dangerous. Even if Finn manages to convince Steffi to give Sheila an inch, even if they offer her a tiny sliver of supervised visitation, it will not be enough. The woman will keep pushing for more. Sheila is a predator. She does not understand boundaries. She views any concession as a weakness to be exploited. Furthermore, Sheila's psychological profile guarantees disaster. She usually ends up sabotaging the progress she has made the moment she feels cornered. If she senses that Taylor is onto her, or if Steffi issues another harsh ultimatum, Sheila's fragile facade of reform will shatter. She will revert to her darkest, most manipulative tactics, risking her freedom, her relationship with Deacon, and her very life to force her way into the Finnegan home. The impending explosion is not a matter of if, but when. While the younger generation battles over broken hearts and the older generation wages corporate and psychological warfare, a quiet, devastating tragedy is unfolding behind closed doors for another beloved couple. There should also be some massive, heartbreaking developments with Carter Walton and Daphne Rose Walton. Carter and Daphne's love story has been a beacon of hope and romance, culminating in a beautiful marriage and the shared, desperate dream of starting a family together. They have built a life on the promise of the future, eagerly anticipating the day they would welcome a child into their home. But the universe has delivered a crushing, paralyzing blow. Daphne has recently received a devastating medical diagnosis from Dr. Lee Finnegan. The news of early menopause and absolute infertility has derailed their entire future. The diagnosis is not just a medical hurdle. It is a profound, identity-shattering trauma for Daphne. She is sinking into a deep, paralyzing sadness, grieving the loss of the biological child she will never carry. The vibrant, passionate woman Carter fell in love with is being consumed by feelings of inadequacy and depression. What does this diagnosis mean for the future of their family? It means their marriage is about to face the ultimate, grueling test of survival. Carter is desperately trying to remain strong. He is putting on a brave face, offering unwavering support, and trying to be the rock Daphne needs. But privately, Carter is struggling. The cracks in his composure are showing. He is mourning the loss of their dream just as deeply as Daphne is, but he feels he must hide his pain to protect her. The silence in their home is deafening. Every negative pregnancy test, every doctor's appointment, every sympathetic look from a friend is a dagger to their hearts. Moving forward, Carter and Daphne will have to navigate a labyrinth of grief, resentment, and difficult choices. Will they explore the exhausting, emotionally draining avenues of surrogacy or adoption? Or will the overwhelming weight of this tragedy slowly pull them apart, fracturing their bond beyond repair? The emotional toll of this storyline will be profound, offering a raw, heartbreaking counterpoint to the sensational corporate and romantic betrayals dominating the rest of the canvas. Carter and Daphne must find a way to redefine what family means to them, or risk losing each other in the darkness of their shared grief. As the battle lines are drawn across Los Angeles, every single character is being pushed to their absolute breaking point. Will Spencer is charging into a war for a woman who looks at him with pure disgust. Electra Forrester is wielding her corporate power like a weapon to destroy the best friend who betrayed her. Melissa Dillon is standing her ground, armed with a devastating smile and an unyielding connection to the Spencer heir. Hope Logan is embracing her newfound power, ready to crush Steffi Forrester's empire. Finn is fracturing under the impossible weight of his mother's obsession, while Taylor watches the impending disaster with clinical dread. And Sheila is pacing in the shadows, ready to burn the entire city to the ground if she is denied her family. The stakes have never been higher. The betrayals have never been deeper. The consequences will be permanent, lethal, and absolutely unforgettable.